For me, it's about the law and people. How am I supposed to quantify the value of these things when I don't have evidence?
I'm sorry.
And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. You say one thing, she says another. So who am I to believe?
Justice with truth.
Either you make the decision or I make the decision. You won't like mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Ronald Myers is suing Deepa Shah in the amount of $1,750. Mr. Myers claims he hired Ms. Shah to throw a Holi party at his home and says the colored powders she supplied stained his expensive furniture.
Okay, Ms. Shah, tell me about Holi colors?
Holi.
Holi colors.
Holi colors. Holi is a Hindu celebration. It is kicking off spring, and it's a celebration of good triumphing over evil. It's really about positivity, about forgiveness, and really celebrating goodness in the world.
And is there a specific time in spring where you celebrate, or do you celebrate before?
It's in accordance with the lunar calendar, so it's usually in March. But it depends on the lunar calendar, the first full moon of spring.
All right, that's kind of, and what do you do in a Holi festival?
So what you do is you get a group of people together to celebrate, and you play Holi. Playing Holi is basically taking the powders and you throw the colors up in the air, throw them at each other. Everyone wears white, and by the end of the Holi festival, you're covered in the bright spring colors of the season.
Oh, kind of cool. All right. And Mr. Myers, you wanted to have a Holi festival?
Yes,
That's
indeed.
why we're here. Why did you want to have a Holi festival?
Well, I'm a business owner, and I do telemarketing, so all my people are in cubicles. That's where they work. And was looking for something to do to host a big party for the company. It was springtime, and so we decided, let's maybe do something other than karaoke. And a couple of my people are actually Indian, and they said, how about a Holi party? And I had never been to one, but of course I was familiar with them, and I thought, oh, okay. And someone suggested to me to reach out, and I did. And with that, got Deepa, and she could host the party. So I reached out, we formed a contract, and it was actually a fun party.
Okay.
Until the problems occurred.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the contract first. So tell me about how much, where it was going to be, what was going to happen. Give me all those details.
Sure.
And if you have something in writing.
I was just going to suggest, I do have that
give
along
that
with some
Cindy,
pictures too that will probably
But just tell me in your own
helpful.
words.
Sure. So the contract that she provided to me was that we would do it for $400. She would basically host it. She's the expert, and that's what I trusted that she could do. It was only supposed to be about 22 people. Now, I will tell you right up front, more than that showed up. Turns out Holi parties are pretty popular, and not only do my employees want to come, they want to bring their relatives and some friends too. And
you only invited your 22 employees?
Yes. Yeah, actually, I only invited our 11 employees, but figured their significant other.
Oh, I see. So you counted for the spouses.
We accounted for that. We did not account for friends and more family. I couldn't tell them to send them away or anything like that.
You felt uncomfortable.
And I have to tell you, our backyard, it's one of those homes that they say is entertainment friendly. It's huge backyard on the top of a hill. And I enjoy entertaining big parties like that. So,
so 66 people would comfortably fit in your backyard?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
With table seating arrangements?
Well, we moved everything together. Really the big thing, there was no tables. We did prep. I did that personally beforehand. But I
helped
do have
him move the furniture because I saw.
So you moved the furniture?
Exactly. And we have patio, very expensive outdoor patio furniture.
Why did you guys move the furniture?
Because there were so many people starting to come. We needed to get the furniture out of the way, but also to cover it up and protect it. When I showed up, I saw how nice the furniture was, and it was really big, bulky, taking up a lot of space.
Oh, I see pictures. It's beautiful.
He had shared the space that we had to work with in his backyard prior. I suggested that we move it to the side. It was also a really windy day, so I wanted his furniture to be protected.
Well, and
we moved it out of the way.
That, as you can see from the photos, it's white. Those cushions are all white.
Exactly.
Now, the
I didn't want
furniture
people sitting
itself
on it. I
was
didn't want people getting
pretty much out of the way already, but we did move the furniture. And of course, I had just had all this furniture made and delivered.
All right.
And it's pretty expensive. So,
all right, so you moved it to the side.
We moved it to the side.
And you covered it with what?
Well,
I covered it with sheets, as I always do for all of my events.
Oh, okay.
I'm very familiar with this process. We cover everything because the Holi colors are all organic ingredients, and they wash right out of cotton.
Well,
but I still like to take the precautions so things are easy for cleanup.
So you guys moved the furniture and you covered it with sheets.
Coming up on Justice for All.
First of all, I was very, very generous by giving even more Holi colors than I had agreed upon. And, you know, really I should have been charging him about $1,200 for the amount of people who showed up.
And later,
What if it bounces up and hits a tree or a house or something? You just don't know.
Even more epic in that case.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Ronald Myers, who is suing Deepa Shah for property damage.
now that's the part where in the contract, part of her, what she agreed to was covering that stuff.
Which I
and
did.
And she brought her own cover, I guess they were bed sheets or something like that.
He had given me dimensions beforehand, and I properly covered it.
Please let him speak.
Thanks. The issue was once we moved them, and then the agreement was that she would cover them. At that point, for me, she became the subject matter expert, if you will. She's done these, I guess, a lot of times.
Of course, yeah.
And so I just left that to her, and I really didn't figure I needed to check up on it and see that everything was secure.
So then what happened? 66 people show up.
So the people show up, she started the music, so now it's party time and throw the powder time. And it was a blast. I mean, we all had a great time. So everything winds down after, I don't know, it's probably an hour, hour and a half of, dancing and all this. So everybody leaves, and God bless her, she helped me move the furniture back, but as we pulled the sheets away, my white cushions are covered with the powder. It really didn't do anything. And there's a picture there for you too on that.
Yeah, I saw that. The wind?
The wind, whatever. The sheets were not adequate, if I could,
Your Honor, there were people everywhere. I mean, everyone was drinking, everyone was having a great time, as he said, but people were everywhere. And because there were so many more people, it was hard to control where they were and where they weren't.
Okay. All right.
And it was very windy, which I brought up concerns to Mr. Meyer, both about the windy factor, but also about how many people there were. And he was very adamant that we continue with the event.
In terms of covering them.
Is it foreseeable for her to do that? Shouldn't you have done that because it's your house and it was extra windy and you had extra people there?
Well, the agreement was that she would cover them.
And she did.
But they weren't covered the whole time. There would be no ink underneath them.
But did you see that they were covered the whole time?
No.
That's why, there could have been other intervening factors that had nothing to do with you and nothing to do with her.
I guess there was assumptions on my part that if she's the expert and she said she was going to cover it.
So then everything Mr. Myers testified to is correct?
I mean, I think there's some deviations for sure.
Quickly tell me what the deviations are.
When we went to clean up, first of all, I was very, very generous by giving even more Holi colors than I had agreed upon. And, really I should have been charging him about $1,200 for the amount of people who showed up. I stuck to the $400. I was really excited to have his business. But before he even let me spot test a little area to show him what I could do, he very quickly took some spray bottle, started spraying it on and rubbing this color in so aggressively. And I told him that was absolutely the wrong thing to do. And I even suggested, I'll show you here on a little side, what I can do. I've done it a million times. It washes out in the
And then
machine.
what else? So then you left after that?
I did leave after that. And the next day I received a text saying, you owe me $1,750 for my dry cleaning bill, which, first of all, I don't know how you find a dry cleaner that charges you that much money for dry cleaning.
It's expensive
$1,750 is no joke. That's a lot of money. That's more than my rent. And I just thought it was ridiculous and outrageous that you were trying to get that much money out of me. And quite honestly, I felt that it was very greedy because...
You have the invoice.
All right. Anything else that's relevant?
In terms of the story, I think you have the full picture. I mean, there was a lot more people there than we had planned on. Everyone at the party had a great time. They kind of gave me glowing positive reviews in person, and everyone had a really great time. But there was a lot of people.
Okay. All right, got it. I got it. So here's the issue. I'm listening to your facts, right? And for me, based on the evidence, I do not think it's the defendant's responsibility to pay your dry cleaning bills, because in addition also, I understand they're very expensive, but that is a little excessive for you to conclude that she would have to pay when it was equally your fault in allowing 66 extra people and not really understanding, asking about Holi colors, and not really requesting that the patio be covered perfectly. Those are all the risks that you assumed when you made this contract.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask the question.
I understand the contract and the limits and all of that, but while this was happening, we both agree. I mean, I said I paid. She saw the people coming in. She said, I've got enough for all these people. So
she said she had enough colors for all these people, right?
She agreed to do it.
Okay, that's great.
But I could have also charged you more at that point.
You should have said not 66 people. You could have said, no, I don't want more people, right? So what is she supposed to do when you didn't even know 40 extra people were coming? If she said no, then you would be suing her for failing to perform.
But also,
I'm just saying that there were risks that you both took, particularly yourself, because you're the one that's having the party.
But she's the subject and she's done so many. That's my point.
I understand, Mr. Myers. I understand. She tried to explain to you how to clean it, but you did not want to try her version of it because the furniture was almost $16,000 essentially. I understand that. Yep. But based on the evidence, I will not grant your claim for $1,750, okay? Good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
So I'm just really relieved. I really did everything I could to keep your party fun and safe.
I'm going to make a suggestion that is either you get insurance or when you see those possibilities that you make it very clear because you're supposed to be the expert.
Thank you.
Coming up on Justice for All.
Your ultra sports love the thrill, love doing really fun, adventurous, dangerous things.
Sure.
Not her.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Suzette Greer is suing Reef Finley in the amount of $1,850. Ms. Greer claims the defendant performed a dangerous stunt and says the careless act knocked her off her sled, which dislocated her elbow.
Okay, Ms. Greer, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Finley, for some injuries that you believe he was negligent. And explain to me, $1,850, no?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Finley over here caused me to go to the hospital after he rolled a Zorb down a ski hill in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Caused me to go to the hospital. I dislocated my elbow, and I had to take physical therapy for weeks.
Okay. Is it called a Zorb ball, or what is it?
Precisely, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Explain.
Yes, a Zorb is something I didn't know until it literally rolled over me. So,
okay.
Your Honor, I can show you where it happened. I have a photo evidence of the property.
Okay.
So if you don't mind me showing you that.
Cinder. So you would what else would you do? Would you just on the hill, just
Your
slay
Honor,
down?
I only sled. I occasionally ski. I tend to ski on the bunny hills. I'm extremely careful and cautious. You'll see in that picture there is our property. My family home is actually to the left.
Is that hill, is it a street or is it just grass? Like, do skiers go down that hill?
It is a street, yeah. So when it's covered in snow, that's when we usually sled.
Okay, so it's actual cement? I'm trying to understand how you guys would sled down or Zorb down a cement incline.
Coming up.
You could have hurt yourself by crashing up against a tree or a lamppost.
I think people wanted to see the action because it was pretty awesome, to be honest. So.
Okay.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Suzette Greer, who is suing Reef Finley for medical expenses.
All right, so then what happened?
The defendant was getting into his bubble, known as a Zorb,
And I decided at the top of the hill, because I was also sledding, that I would go first. And in the middle of my sled, in the middle of the street, so I stopped my sled, which I can control, and grabbed my hat. Well, as I did that, the defendant here, Mr. Finley, was in his Zorb already rolling, and he rolled over me. The weight of him crushed my elbow into the street, and it dislocated my elbow and caused me to go to the emergency room.
Okay. Did you see her, Mr. Finley?
No, I didn't see her.
So what happened? Give me your version of the story.
Your Honor, I'm a thrill seeker by nature. I like to go down big waves. I like to surf. May I present some evidence on what Zorbing is, Your Honor?
I know what Zorbing is, but sure, present me your evidence. So go ahead, Mr. Finley, what else?
So as you can see, that's Zorbing there. You can be on flat ground and run around in a big ball like that. You can go down hills in it, and that's what I do. I like to go like kind of free floating down it. And
Yeah, he wasn't even strapped in, Your Honor.
so here's the thing. The ball it absorbs all the impact, so it's actually a good stopping point for a
What if
Zorb
it
ball.
bounces up and hits a tree or a house or something? You just don't
person.
know.
Even more epic in that case.
And no neighbor complained that you were using this big ball to go down a tiny little narrow street?
No, not at all.
I mean, it could have gone out of control and you could have hurt yourself by crashing up against a tree or a lamppost.
I think people wanted to see the action because it was pretty awesome, to be honest. So.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm not saying you're not reasonable,
Sure.
but you're ultra sports, love the thrill, love doing really fun, adventurous, dangerous things.
Sure.
Not her.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
So based on the evidence, I find that you were both negligent in your actions. You more than her, okay? Because you had a higher duty. You know what a Zorb is. You know the momentum it can garnish. You should have known this is not a safe place for me to do it. There's kids. Maybe there's other little kids playing snow, fights, or whatever. You should have known and used better judgment, okay? So based on that, Ms. Greer, that I find you part responsible and negligent in your actions. I will grant your claim, but I'm not going to grant the full claim. I think what is fair to do is that we will grant $1,500 of the $1,850, and which is the majority of your physical therapy. But the rest, almost $400 or $500, you're going to have to pay on. You're going to have to eat that. Okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
So, based on the evidence, I will grant the plaintiff's claim in part in the amount of $1,500. Good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,500.
I understand that sledding at night could be a little reckless, but I'm glad the judge decided to grant a majority of the cost toward the defendant.
This is ridiculous. I can't believe I'm having to pay for this. The amount. When you go down the hill, you should take responsibility for yourself. She shouldn't have went back to grab her hat.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.